of the now iconic duo Jay and Silent Bob, Mewes has reprised his role several times in Smith's View Askew films, including in Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and Clerks 2. He's also appeared in several other films, television shows, and video games, and he's publicly battled addiction along the way. Mewes will appear alongside Kevin Smith this Saturday, April 30th at Ulster Performing Arts Center in Kingston, New York, for a live performance in Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, as well as a taping of the popular Smodcast. And Jason Mewes, it's a pleasure to welcome you to the Roundtable this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, how is the tour going? Are you enjoying being out in front of people night after night? I know you've been known as a shy person in the past at some points.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's we do it every Friday. We do the Get Old podcast about Universal City Walk, John Lovitz, and that's about 250 capacity, and so we get about 200, 250 people a week, and then going on the tour, we've done Florida and Pittsburgh and a couple other places, and that's been 1,000 to 1,500. And it's just awesome. It's doing it every week in the 250 is great, and I love it and stuff. But going out in front of 1,500 people is just amazing. It seriously, it makes me feel like I'm a rock star or something. When I went out and just say the first one was San Fran, and when I came out and stuff and we did the show, it was amazing. It was an awesome feeling, and I'm really having fun. So.
How do you guys keep it fresh? Because you don't really script anything, and you do take chances with opening it up to the audience. Do you feel any risk doing that? I mean, is that something that you guys enjoy, not really knowing where the show might go any given night?
It is the show. It's it's us talking about meeting and how we're doing that week, and all the different just different stuff that's going on, and funny things that have happened. So, I would say, I guess, there's a chance that if we start talking about something and then there's nothing, and then we sort of, finish talking about that and we don't know what we're talking about next, would be bad. But I don't know. I enjoy doing it. It makes me even think. Matter of fact, there's even stuff like I'll think about while we're up there that I forgot about. You know what I mean? Like there's. When we go up there, I sort of have notes of, hey, let's talk about this time when this happened, and I'm going to talk about what I did this week when we start, and then after finish with this. But then sometimes we'll be done with that, and I don't know. I enjoy that. I sort of enjoy that because then I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Do you remember when this happened? Right around the same time. So it's. A lot of stuff has been coming up while we've been doing this, which is funny that I totally forgot has happened. So,
how do you explain your onstage performances with your friend Kevin Smith? I mean, what is it between you two, the chemistry? How did that come about, and how has it lasted this long?
I'm not sure. I don't know. We just been. I don't know what to say. But I don't know what to say. I don't know why we sort of bounce off each other so well and all that. I just think we both have the same type of sense of humor. We sort of, at the same time, we have the same sense of humor, but, we're way different. Where he's been, 21, he made Clerks, and he, did the right thing and went about doing this, and he got married and had a kid early, and he's very responsible, and, I had my problems and all that. But at the same time, we have the same sense of humor and this weird sort of older brother type relationship. He's sort of like an older brother to me in a sense. Like, all the times I've had tried to get off the drugs and he's helped me, and or I was gonna do something wrong. I'd go talk to him about it, and he'll give me some advice and all that. It's so I don't know. I think that sort of is, I would say, part of the reason is sort of that older brother sort of thing, and the same sense of humor and that type of stuff. I would say, yeah.
I think, Jason, a lot of people have been following you and kind of rooting for you as you've had these public battles. How are you doing these days?
Things are good. They're very well. I mean, I had almost 7 years, and surgery, and then like 2 weeks later, I got kidney stones. They had to go through through my hoop hop, and so then I would like another surgery. They had to put me out and all that, and they had to give me pain medicine. I actually like every time I went to the bathroom, it hurt. So I actually needed them, but I wasn't really talking to people. I was living out by the beach in Playa del Rey, and no one wanted to come out there, and I was sitting home all the time and building remote control cars and playing video games, and I was taking the medicine on myself because I was like, oh, I can handle it. It's been almost 7 years, and next thing you know, it's 10 months later, and I was taking like 40 or 50 when I was only supposed to be taking. I was supposed to stop taking them, and even if I was able to manipulate my doctor and get them as prescribed, I was taking way over the prescribed amount. So, but then, it got to a bad place again and started getting bad, and I talked to Kevin about it and my wife, and I got off of it, and now it's been over a year. So, and things are really going well. I feel like even sort of better than last time, because even all those years I had sober, like I wasn't really talking about it with people and all that. I was just sort of working and going on my way. I definitely felt good and wasn't getting messed up, but I don't know, this time I even feel better, and I feel like things are like, now I'm talking about it all the time with people, and if not my friends, with on the podcast. That's part of how sort of Jay and Bob got started. Is I was saying, I want to do a podcast for a while with Kevin, because I filled in on Smodcast with Scott Mosier and Kevin. Scott wasn't there, so I filled in. I was like, this is fun. I want to do one. And then I was telling Kevin about, I need to start talking about this more and being accountable for this time, so I could stay sober and not have to worry about messing up ever again. And he's like, well, hey, I'm opening the Smart Castle, and you've been wanting to do a podcast. Why don't you do a podcast? And not only can you do a podcast, you can talk about, what's going on and be accountable to not only me and your wife and your friends, but to everyone that each week that you're talking to on the podcast. So, I mean, that's definitely has been part of what this has been about, and it's been a big help.
I did want to ask you also about how playing that character, that iconic character who we all remember in Clerks and then all the movies that followed, he's kind of dangerous. He's selling drugs, or he's always looking for the party.
1, 2, 3, 4, noin, smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling baddies, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts, rolling blunts.
Have you had a hard time reconciling this most famous character of yours with your actual Jason Mewes real life self?
No, not really. I mean, the first movie, Jay is smoking a lot of weed, and he's out front selling it and stuff, and they don't show it a bunch, but it's definitely one. It's a different drug, really. I'm not to say that people believe like alcohol and everything's sort of addictive and a drug in itself, but I mean, I don't really sort of fight not wanting to smoke weed or fight not wanting to drink so much. I mean, my problem is opiates, and in the movies, I don't think it's not like, even with the weed, say, it's not like in the movies he's always smoking bongs throughout the movie, like over and over again in every scene, and he's always has a bunch of fake weed and he's selling it on the corner, like in each movie. It's like I think a couple of the movies you don't even ever see Jay smoking or selling it to someone. It's just sort of like they talk about it. And then, even in Clerks 2, they even say, hey, look, we still sell weed, but we don't smoke anymore because this and this and this happened, and I had to go to rehab, and now I'm sober, and all that. So Kevin sort of wrote in what really happened and sort of went with what was going on at that moment. So,
well, there's kind of a famous story in the whole history of this universe, which is that when Mallrats was coming about, they kind of looked around the studio at casting someone else to play your part. I was wondering, how do you think your life would have been different had you not held on to that role? I mean, you were so early in your career at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that was only their second. I mean, we did Clerks, and that was just a bunch of friends. I went right back to work roofing. I was roofing at the time, and I was also like doing tiles in bathrooms and all that. I mean, I would think I'm not sure where I would be at. Like, I know I'd probably be roofing, and I would like to say that I'd maybe own my own roofing company, but who knows? I might have gotten worse at that point, because I definitely know that the drugs started in New Jersey and started before I was out doing movies and stuff. Like, a lot of times I get asked, is it hard with sort of the nightlife and the movie business with the drugs and all that? But I really don't think it's any more so that I would have done drugs because of that. Especially again with the drugs that I like, no one ever asks you, when you're out here or on a movie set or any of that, no one ever asks you to do what I like to do, the down, the opiates. And so I mean, I would, who knows, I would have maybe been home and got worse and not have had that. Definitely helped me getting sober. My friends helped me for one, but it's definitely helped me being out here, and a couple of the places I've gone into and has helped me get sober has been because of where I was at, like in the movies. Like, the one place Ben paid for, one of the rehabs I went to, Ben Affleck paid for, and I couldn't afford it at the time. I was really messed up, and Ben got me into a place, and he called and got me in there. Him and Kevin arranged it. So if I was home, I mean, I don't know, I could have been more messed up and even worse, and not had that chance or whatever to go into a place. Or who knows, maybe I would have been roofing and owning my own business, and maybe never met the girl that I first did heroin with. I don't know. Even though I met her at home, I don't know. It's I mean, you think about it, I could have maybe moved to Texas. Like, one of my other best friends I grew up with moved to Texas and bought a house. He bought like a 4-bedroom house for like $280,000 or something, $320,000. Who knows? Maybe I would have moved to with him out there in Texas. Who knows? It's definitely an interesting question. That I mean, what would have happened? So.
Well, you're talking about, maybe owning your own business and home ownership. The title of your show is Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, and I remember reading where Kevin Smith said, Clerks 3 would be middle-aged, having kids. That would be the arc of the storyline. Do you foresee that movie ever coming? I mean, do you ever tire of this partnership that has spawned so much great movie making over the last 20 years?
I mean, I wouldn't be against doing another movie, and yeah, I guess like the next step seems like we'd have to do like, it'd have to definitely be a couple years from now or so, and maybe, who knows where it would be. But I mean, I'm married now, and I definitely want to have kids, and I'm sort of, things are going well, like I said, and hopefully I'll have a kid soon, and then we're hoping I'm hoping in like the next year or two that I could start trying to have a child, and hopefully we'll own a house soon and all that stuff. I mean, I still have an apartment. I don't. I was looking into buying a house, and something happened, and so yeah. I mean, it's definitely moving that way, and who knows? Yeah, if we do a Clerks 3, I mean, maybe it could be like nursing home or something. Us old trying to break out of a nursing home, and we're messing with the old women there. I don't know.
Jason Mewes will appear alongside his friend Kevin Smith. That's this Saturday, April 30th at Ulster Performing Arts Center in Kingston. It's a live performance in Jay and Silent Bob Get Old, as well as a taping of the popular Smodcast. Jason, I can't tell you how much it's meant to me to spend this time talking to you today, and we're all looking forward to the show, so thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you.